We're in my homeschool area, so the lighting's a little bit weird today, but it was my quiet place today. The kids are upstairs for a second. I'm letting them have just a little bit of TV time, yes, while I do this. But I wanted to talk to you guys about meal planning. I get questions a lot about how I meal plan, and so I'm going to share with you just how I meal plan, how I do 2 weeks at a time. That's my goal. Sometimes it just ends up being a week because our schedules, but the goal is to do 2 weeks at a time. I don't do a month because our schedules can change a lot, especially since we're getting ready to start soccer soon. And I'm not committed enough to do a month-long meal plan, but props to those of you who do. I think it's amazing. So I'm going to show you just how I do things. Okay, so first I printed off just a free calendar for the month of March. It's just a way that I can see a visual of what all I'm doing. Okay, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I work a part-time job just in a couple of evenings a week, sometimes 3 times a week. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off those nights that I work. And I'm just going to put a W in the corner. Those are nights when I need to make sure that I plan something easy that Jonathan can do for the kids, or that I can make quickly before I have to go to work. A lot of times that's what I try to do. So this meal plan is going to go from Sunday to Saturday. Oh, sorry. From Sunday the 4th until Saturday the 17th. So it's a 2-week meal plan. So here's how it's going to go. Okay, so first of all, so I mark off that I work that Sunday, I work Monday, and then I work Friday, and then I work I work Monday, and I work Tuesday, and I work Saturday. So, I've got my W's. This pen is not working very well, so I'm going to grab something else really quick. Hopefully this one does better. And so far, not so great. There we go. Okay. So, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to decide, okay, what are some easy meals that can be done on these nights? Now, I know every once in a while, even though we try to eat as fresh of food and clean food as possible, there are some times that I do grab some convenience type things just to keep in the freezer for these kind of things. So, we do have some frozen fish already in the freezer that we got at Sam's. And so I'm going to make it easy on John. And so for dinner on Sunday, I'm going to do fish. And then we'll do some mac and cheese. We do the Annie's mac and cheese usually. And then some veggies, probably broccoli. So I'm going to write that down. And that's chicken scratch, but for me it works. Okay, and then I'm going to do the dinner for the next night I work. Chicken fried rice is super easy. I actually already have rice cooked and in the refrigerator. So, dinner, chicken fried rice. He can do that. I've got chicken thighs that are in the freezer that can be cooked quickly. And then it's just onions and frozen peas, which we already have. And then we use coconut aminos instead of soy sauce or any other alternative. So there's that. Then, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea. So I plan the dinners for the nights that I work first. Then I'm going to go through and I'm going to think about things that we have planned throughout the week. We have a pulmonology appointment on Friday. So for breakfast, we need something quick. So we're going to do toasted bagels for breakfast. And we just take blueberry bagels and toast them with a little bit of butter and cinnamon. And that's what the kids eat for breakfast. Usually I just grab a banana. I know that's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's quick and it's easy for me, and because I'm usually running around crazy in the mornings. So there's an example of how I would plan my breakfast. What do we have through the week? And then I would go in and I would fill in among those. So just real quickly, what we have planned for this week is Monday through Fridays, I only plan breakfast and dinners. Saturdays and Sundays, I do plan breakfast, lunch, and dinner because it's the days that we're all together. And it's usually the days that if we don't plan accordingly, then we're going to end up in a rut and have to run out and get something to eat or go out and eat, which I hate to do because I hate spending a lot of extra money on something we can either make at home or whatever. And then it's just unnecessary spending. So, for breakfast and stuff, I usually try to do things like some mornings the kids do yogurt with fruit, and I just buy a big thing of yogurt. And then we cut up fresh strawberries or put raspberries in it, sometimes peaches in it. It's better that way too. You don't have like syrupy stuff and random ingredients in there. And then we do eggs, toast, and fruit a lot of times for breakfast. Oatmeal is easy. It's cheap. Hash. This is my favorite. This is what I call it. I don't know. Just one morning I was cooking and I decided I didn't want to cook everything separate and take forever. So I just take sausage, a half a roll of sausage. That's all it takes. If you have, as my kids get older, I know I'll have to use the whole roll. Right now they're young, even though I have 5 kids. One of them isn't eating that kind of food yet. She's still a baby. But for now, we use half a roll of sausage. Then I take 2 potatoes and dice them up and cook all that together. And then I throw in half of an onion diced up. Well, a little less than half probably. Diced up. And then at the very end, I crack some eggs and put them in there. And we call it breakfast hash. The kids love it. They say it's cowboy food. And it's really filling. It's really good. So that's what we do a lot of times if we want like a heartier kind of breakfast. And then the toasted bagels that I mentioned before. Now Saturdays I do try to do something special. So one Saturday I'll probably plan biscuits and gravy. Biscuits are super easy to make. You can go to our blog page and click on recipes and find my super easy biscuit recipe. So easy, seriously guys. Gravy, really easy also. And it's a treat. We don't have it very often at all. We actually haven't had it in over a month probably. Sometimes I do sausage balls because it's another kind of heartier kind of thing that we can grab and go with. I will probably make those. Tanner has testing next week, and I want to make something kind of special to send him off with that he loves, but also something that's going to be filling while he's taking that test. And then pancakes, eggs, and bacon. Sometimes we do that. Bacon's expensive. Everybody knows that, but it is a treat, and we do get that sometimes. Now, as far as meal planning, also, I try to think basically, I look at what we have on hand. And right now we have quite a few carrots, like half a big bag of whole carrots. We have a whole bag of organic apples that I had bought the last time, and I put in the fridge downstairs, and I kind of forgot about them. But they last a long time, so they're good. And we also have half of a big bag of little oranges. And we have a few canned veggies if we need to throw those in there. We have oatmeal already. Let's see what else. We've got, I use an organic pancake mix that is amazing. It's called Birch Benders is the brand. That's what I use in our sausage balls instead of Bisquick. So good. I already have that. Our buns for our hamburgers that we're going to have one night, I make those homemade. They're delicious. And then the bread with our Tuscan soup and things like that, I make from scratch. Also, anyway, sorry for the choppy video. I keep running out of space and have to delete things every once in a while. It's terrible. I'm a picture hoarder on my phone. But what I was saying, I also have frozen spaghetti sauce on hand. And so one night I will plan spaghetti for when Jonathan's home with the kids. So it just makes it easy for him. He'll just have to do noodles and then put the salad together, or I will do that before I leave. So that's basically what I can think of as far as that goes. Now, after I make my meal plan and I have everything planned out, I know in my mind what I already have on hand. But I try to think through, I go through each item on my list and I think about what ingredients I have and what ingredients I'll need. And when I think of ingredients that I'll need, I put them on a list. And I'm going to show you, I've actually already done this meal plan and already done the shopping for it. I'm just doing this video just to show you how I work through it. But this is, I go ahead and I start to make my list based on each recipe and what I know I'm going to need. So this is my Kroger list. And then this is my Sam's list. And if you see my other video of the meal plan in action or whatever, if you see the actual meal plan video for these 2 weeks, you'll see that I actually pick up a few extra things here and there. My goal is to try to stay around $500 for our family, and that does include household items. Yes, toilet paper, paper towels, those kind of things. Yes, they're included in there, even diapers. So I do try to stay around $500 for our family. And yes, we go over sometimes. No, it does not include eating out. We really, honestly, we don't really eat out. And when we do, it's very rare, and it's usually just with extra. And so we really try not to. We're just not in a season of life where eating out is very enjoyable. But like I said, we do treat ourselves every once in a while. So that's just kind of how I meal plan. So go through, once you plan it all out, go through to make your shopping list. Look at each day, see what you have on there. Think about the ingredients you have and the ingredients that you'll need. And so you'll see, I have things where I've marked out stuff because I'm like, oh, well, one day I'll need sausage, so I put a 1. And then, oh, another day I'll need sausage, so I mark that out and put a 2, and so on and so forth. So I needed 4 pounds of sausage. I actually think that I overestimated that, but I would rather overestimate than under. And then the ground beef, we're going to do hamburgers one night, and I tried to do more than what we actually need so that we can have leftovers for lunches and for our leftover nights, which I try to do leftovers on Saturdays because usually those are days when we're at home or we're out and about, and we're usually busy. Even if we're at home, those are like work days. Like this past Saturday, we were working out, getting our garden ready for the summer. So I try to make more than what we actually need. So we're actually doing 2 pounds of hamburgers and 2 pounds of chicken breast, which is more than what our family will eat, because we try to eat more sides, more vegetables and stuff like that than what we eat of the actual meat. And then chicken breast, again, that I would need 4 pounds of it for this menu plan, which, again, I usually try to get more than what I put on here because I would rather overestimate than under. And then I can put what we don't use in the freezer for future meals and meal plans. And I know this looks backwards to you guys, and I apologize. I hope that you're able to read it regardless. But yeah, so that's how I do things, how I meal plan. Um, and I hope that that's helpful to you guys. Oh, lunches. Okay, so what I try to do for lunches during the week, my kids usually will do peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They love them. And that's usually what they want because they're usually busy during the day. At lunchtime and around that time is usually their playtime. So they usually just want something they can grab and eat really quick. So they usually do just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with fruit and maybe some fresh veggies. I do treat them with a little snacky side. Like I try not to do a lot of chips. Usually we get just regular old Boulder Canyon potato chips from Sam's because it's a huge bag. But this time I got them Annie's cheddar popcorn just as like a fun little side. So they do that. Sometimes they do snack lunches. A few other things that we do sometimes is sometimes we make pizzadillas. It's just a tortilla and we put pizza sauce on it, cheese, and pepperonis. So there's that. And then every once in a while I do buy deli meat. I do have that on my list this week. But I only get like half a pound of it because it's expensive. And we're a large family. And that's just the truth. And so it's kind of a treat every once in a while. And so we probably will have those just one day. Usually for my lunches, I tend to make stir fries. That's just what I call it. I don't really know what else you would call it, but basically I just take any vegetable that I find in the fridge and cut it up and throw it in a wok with a little bit of coconut aminos, and that's what I eat. Maybe throw in some leftover meat in there from the day before, but it's good, it's filling, it's healthy, and that's what I eat, and it's quick. So something like that, or a salad, or just some leftovers. So that's usually what I tend to eat. My husband kind of does the same. So I usually try to leave him leftovers because he's a hard worker and I want him to have a yummy lunch. So, I try to do that. Also, for him, if you don't have the Chick-fil-A app, which I'm sure all of you do, make sure that you do. And every time you go, have them scan it because you earn free treats. And those free treats turn into free lunches for my husband and for me sometimes. And I hope that you found this helpful, and I will see you another day.